This is the 10-Minute Teacher Podcast with your host, Vicki Davis.
I'm excited today for us to be talking to Jay James. He's a cybersecurity professional and technology educator. He serves as the cybersecurity operations lead at Auburn University. He leads the cybersecurity student worker program. Students can learn through real-world experiences and protect the university. Now, this model is getting ready to move down to the K-12 level, and Jay is known as one who does it right. So, Jay, how would you characterize an SOC?
Security Operations Center can look a lot of different ways, and I feel that when you throw students in the mix, it looks a little bit different. Primarily what a Security Operations Center does is that we monitor what goes on in our environment to find malicious activity, so finding the bad guys and figuring out what they do and then stopping them. Now that we can integrate students into that experience, we are giving them the tools to take a lot of those actions while also teaching them the skills that they need for when they go to the next level. So bring in students as freshmen, and then they stick with us throughout their years.
But you're not bringing in students who just know everything. I mean, a lot of your students have said, I was reading one article to prepare for today who said, hey, I didn't really even know how to reset my password. So do these kids, how do you select them? Do they always have a lot of technical experience?
They come in mixed in terms of level of proficiency in these technical skills. But what I've learned is that when I interview the students, the ones that do the best are the ones that are passionate, the ones that are curious, the ones that really want to do it. And when they come in, they have that aptitude. It's really easy to teach them and get them to learn all of these new things because technology changes so quickly. It's really about having that aptitude and that curiosity and wanting to do it. And the way how we go about recruiting is reaching out to our different colleges within the university. So we don't limit it to just the College of Engineering. Even though a lot of our students come from there, we recruit from the College of Business. It's really about those students that have that aptitude of wanting to do it and wanting to learn and wanting to get into the field. They usually do the best in the space.
Okay, so what are some of the typical type activities that your students do in this program?
So the students, they really have two hats that they wear. The daily monitoring of what's going on in the environment, where let's say an alert comes in, we teach them how to analyze that alert, also how to respond to that alert. The second hat that they wear is when they get done with all of their alerts, there are a lot of different options of what you can do in cybersecurity. So each student has their own focus area, but their primary day-to-day is kind of the first part of that where they're looking at alerts, but they also have specialized projects they can focus on.
So with ransomware attacks and cybersecurity attacks just increasing significantly against educational institutions, why do you think that so many cyber criminals are targeting educational organizations?
Well, when you're looking at universities, they have a lot of data that attackers are interested in. This goes for K through 12 through university. They're just good playing grounds to test out new attacks. Because when you think about it, education systems are almost like states with cities within them. It's this type of infrastructure where attackers can try new techniques in this type of environment. There's a financial gain depending on how your systems are set up.
It's really something that we all have to deal with. But you've been in this program for some time now. What has AI done to the cybersecurity area on both sides, the attack side and the prevention side?
AI is great and it's great for us, but also it's great for the attacker. They are doing their attacks faster, better, and they scale. So the only way that we can compete against that is fighting fire with fire, AI type of world that we're in. We're using it to help scale what we do. And we're also using it in a few unique ways as well. So, for example, we are a heavy security co-pilot shop with Microsoft, and utilizing that within the first year, some of our students actually prompted Security Copilot to ask, hey, can you be a mentor, but also a trainer while I work on these incidents? So in real time, while they are working through incidents or learning about alerts, Security Copilot is coaching them telling them things that they should probably know as a cybersecurity professional, saying what the next step should be, explaining why it took the action that it took. And that's just invaluable, especially to a student program, to be able to have something like that.
So, as they're working with Security Copilot, are you, as their supervisor, able to monitor the chats they're having with Security Copilot?
I do have the ability to do a good bit of that with university students. I
Mhm.
also wanted to give them the freedom to use it as they wish. We do have a lot of conversations around using AI responsibly. And one thing that I feel that if you're going to implement something like this is to have some AI literacy in the front end of it, where you're teaching
Mhm.
about how to use AI, getting the basics down right, but also being a ethical AI user as well. So I feel that many people miss when they're implementing something new
Mhm.
like this.
What do you do to educate your students and your faculty on phishing attacks and farming attacks and all these things? Because today, on my phone, I got a message of, "Hey, I'm thinking about making seafood pasta tonight. You want to come over?" And I didn't know who the person was. And I'm thinking, wow, whoever wrote that, like, they're getting good because I know that it was just attempting to see who I was and all of that. But these attacks with AI are just getting better and better.
It makes it really tough. I think it's a combination of reminding ourselves that security awareness and training, it's more than just taking a course. Like the goal is to change behavior. So sending out those periodic tips, just sending out some reminders to keep it to the front of their mind, because it's not necessarily, individuals not knowing what to do. It's just in that moment, right? Where you might not be thinking about what you learned in that class or that course. So being consistent with it, where you don't have to put them in the training every single week, but you can send out reminders, send out tips, just keep that culture, continue to tell those stories about what's going on. Because, like you said, it's much, much harder now with AI and the type of information that they get from us to use against us.
As you talk to other colleges and even K-12 about, hey, I think I might need a student operations center and improve the cybersecurity because I promise every single K-12 school, as well as every university, I think universities know it. I don't think K-12 as much truly understands that cybersecurity is an issue. I don't have a lot of money to spend on that area, but they've got to. What's your advice for those who want to start a program like this?
Think about what you're already doing today and how you want to grow upon that, and then also start to build somewhat of a project charter out of explaining exactly what you want to do and how you want to get it done, because you're going to have to sell this to someone. It wasn't an issue I really ran into, but something that I can see being a problem for other universities is that, hey, do we really want students to have this much access to see
Mm.
what's going on? And especially from a university standpoint, I think that we don't give students enough credit. They're also students at the university, so they have to sign all of these agreements of what they will and will not do. It's just an invaluable experience to them, and it helps us so much. So definitely looking out for that, building out a good charter. But to expand beyond that, high schoolers, they might require a little bit more hand holding. I would argue that there is something for everyone at every level. There's something where they can contribute towards a SOC and learn and grow from there. And you just have to put guardrails around what you want them to do. It takes some trial and error. Your plan that you start with won't be the plan you finish with, but having that good plan to start off with will pay dividends in the end.
Are there some resources for SOC administrators? Because looking at starting salaries and starting salary for an entry level cybersecurity technician is $90,000. Have a 400,000 job shortage here in the US. So hands on is how they have to do this. But where do you go? Do you have people who talk? How do you get those information from other people who do what you do?
I did want to make a point that you brought up about that 90,000 and the amount of jobs. Like you said, what I see in the industry, the biggest issue that we have with filling those jobs is the hands-on experience.
Mhm.
There's a lot of resources around getting certifications. There's a lot of resources and plans around getting that formal education, right? But it's that hands-on piece that's missing. That's been the game changer for the students that come through my program. To answer your question around where you can find resources, one, I think starting with broader SOC resources, if you don't have a SOC at all, or is a great place to start just to see where a SOC should be. Next, I would say EDUCAUSE is a great organization for higher ed. If you want to start a student-led SOC, where I have a lot of conversations in those groups, And Microsoft actually has released a few guides that help support how do you build out the student SOC. And this is a newer thing that they just released. There's starting to be more conversations around student SOCs and resources that are online that'll help
Yeah.
give you guidance.
So Jay James serves as cybersecurity operations lead at Auburn University and leads their Student Operations Center, their SOC. Thank you for coming on today's show. I will include your bio, all the information in the show note. This is fantastic. It's exciting. It's sad we have to do this, but the truth is that we need more people involved in cybersecurity, and they do need that real world experience. I think it's a genius idea. There are ways to do it. So Jay, thanks for sharing all of this.
And thank you for having me.
Thanks for tuning in to the 10-Minute Teacher Podcast. Watch the video version of this podcast and catch my new radio and TV show, Cool Cat Teacher Talk, on YouTube and a radio or TV station near you. Join my Cool Cat Teacher Classroom Matters newsletter at coolcatteacher.com/newsletter. Leave a review if you found this helpful. See you later, educator.